This video is about the alpha promised her forever, but the council demanded her death. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung high and bright in the inky sky, illuminating the dense forest that surrounded the silver wolfpack's territory. Lush undergrowth rustled gently as the night breathed life into the shadows. Lyra, an omega with golden hair that shimmered like starlight, stood at the edge of the clearing, her heart racing as she waited for the arrival of her alpha, Kale. Lyra, a deep voice called softly, breaking through the night's tranquility. It was Gale, stepping from the shadows with an effortless grace that spoke of his power. He was tall and strong, his deep-set eyes glinting with an intensity that made her heart flutter. Kale, she breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. As he approached, the air seemed to thicken with the weight of unspoken emotions. The bond between them pulsed like a living thing, fierce and undeniable, igniting the instincts both cherished and feared. "I've been searching for you," he said, his tone laced with urgency. "The council summons us." A breath caught in her throat. The council, the ruling body of the world, a group steeped in tradition and shrouded in power, had always been wary of her. "What do they want?" she asked, dread pulling in her stomach. "They're concerned about the bond we share," Kale replied, his jaw tightening. "They see you as a threat to the pack's stability." Lyra's heart sank. "But I don't want to be a threat," she whispered, feeling the crushing weight of their expectations. "I just want to be with you." He stepped closer, his warmth enveloping her like a protective shield. "You are my mate, Lyra," he said, his voice firm yet tender. "I made a promise to you to keep you safe, to love you forever." Tears stung her eyes. "But what if they don't allow it? What if they—" Kale silenced her with a gentle finger on her lips. "I will fight for you, no matter the cost. You mean everything to me." As they locked eyes, something shifted between them, a current of raw emotion coursing through their veins. They were bound not just by their destinies, but by an eternal connection that defied the council's rigid laws. The shadows deepened as they walked hand in hand towards the great hall, a sprawling structure of stone and wood that loomed ominously in the distance. A hush fell over the pack as they entered, the air thick with tension. The council members, clad in dark robes, awaited them, their faces grim. Alpha Kale, Omega Lyra, the council head, Elder Varric, intoned, his voice echoing in the cavernous space. "Do you understand why you are here?" Kale straightened, his shoulders broadening. "We do, but I refuse to accept your judgment over the bond we share." Elder Varric's eyes narrowed. "This bond is a threat. Omegas are not meant to rise above their station. Your affections towards her jeopardize the balance of our pack." Lyra felt a wave of despair wash over her. "But I love him," she cried, her voice trembling. "I would never do anything to harm our pack." "That love is a weakness," Varric replied coldly. "As long as you remain alive, the pack will never know peace. The council demands your death." Gasps echoed around the hall. Kale stepped forward, fury blazing in his eyes. "You can't be serious. She has done nothing wrong." "Her very existence is wrong," another council member sneered. "You've chosen an Omega as your mate, Kale. It is forbidden. You will comply, or face the consequences." Lyra took a shaky breath, her heart pounding in her chest. "I want to let you do this. You can take me from him." "Enough." Elder Varric's voice boomed. "You have until the next full moon to prepare for your fate. After that, we will execute the sentence." With that, the council dismissed them. The weight of their verdict hung heavy in the air, a dark shadow that threatened to consume them both. Kale's eyes burned with rage as he turned to her, despair etched across his handsome features. "Lyra, I am so sorry. I want to let them take you from me." His voice was raw, filled with anguish. "Kale," she whispered, her heart breaking. "I don't want you to risk everything for me." His fingers curled around hers, grounding her in the storm of emotions swirling around them. "You are worth every risk. I would go to war for you." "But what if you lose?" she asked, her voice wavering. "What if fighting them only brings you pain?" "I would rather fight for a chance to be with you than live a life without you," he said fiercely, determination shining in his eyes. "We will find a way. We must." Days passed, each one heavy with the weight of their impending doom. They snatched moments together, whispers of love showed beneath the cover of the night, but the threat loomed ever larger. Kale sought counsel with the elders who were sympathetic to their cause, hoping to sway the council's harsh decision. In the twilight hours, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the two met at their secret glade, a sanctuary hidden from prying eyes. The air was thick with the scent of wildflowers and the distant calls of night creatures. "Promise me you won't give up hope," Kale said, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I will find a way to protect you." Lyra looked into his eyes, seeing the fierce love and determination that burned within him. You have my heart, Cale. I'll fight with you, even if it means facing the council. He closed the distance between them, capturing her lips in a kiss that ignited the very core of her being. It was a melding of souls, a promise of forever wrapped in a moment of passion. They stood and whined, the world around them fading into nothingness. However, in the shadows, a pair of piercing eyes watched, a figure cloaked in darkness. The betrayal simmered beneath the surface, a dangerous game unfolding as the council grew restless. The whispers of an ancient prophecy echoed in the ether, one that foretold of love so powerful it could either save or destroy their world. As the sun rose on the day of reckoning, Lyra felt the weight of destiny pressing against her chest. She could not sit idly by while the council orchestrated her demise. Her heart surged with determination. This would not be the end. Cale, she said, her voice strong and resolute. I won't let them take me without a fight. Together, with the moon as their witness, they would forge a path through darkness, defying fate and seeking redemption for their love. The night was just beginning, and every breath they took would bring them closer to the truth that love, in all its forms, was worth fighting for, even against the fiercest of enemies. The council may demand her death, but Lyra would summon every ounce of her strength to claim the life she desired, a life entwined with the Alpha who promised her forever. Little did they know, love could awaken the fiercest magic of all. As dawn broke over the Silverwood territory, a soft light filtered through the leaves, dappling the forest floor. Lyra stood on the threshold of their secret glade, the warmth of the morning sun embracing her like a lover's touch. Yet, with every ray that caressed her skin, a cold dread gripped her heart. The council had set the clock ticking, each moment stretching into eternity. Lyra, Cale's voice broke through her thoughts, a low rumble that sent shivers through her. He emerged from the shadows, his presence a beacon of strength. You were here earlier than usual. I had to think, she replied, her voice steady despite the turmoil within. We can wait for them to make their move. Cale approached, his brow furrowed with concern. What did you decide? His eyes searched hers, seeking the reassurance he desperately needed. I think we need to confront the council. We can let them dictate our fate. We deserve the truth, she declared, determination igniting a fire in her chest. Cale's expression shifted from worry to admiration. You were right, but it won't be easy. They'll fight back with everything they have. I know, she said, her voice dropping to a whisper. But I won't let fear rule my life, Cale, not anymore. His gaze softened, and he reached for her hand. Together, then, we face them as one. Their fingers entwined, a promise sealed in the sacred bond of their connection. The world around them faded, leaving only the two of them against the storm brewing on the horizon. But as they shared that moment, a shadow flickered at the edge of the glade, a silent witness to their resolve. Meanwhile, in the council chambers, Elder Varric convened with the other members, their faces a tapestry of scorn and authority. The time for deliberation is over, Varric intoned, a glint of malevolence in his eyes. We will not allow this insubordination to continue. We must act before they unite others to the cause. Sending her to the afterlife is one option, a voice grumbled from the shadows. It was Darian, a council member who had long opposed Cale's leadership and sought to reclaim power. But there are whispers of a prophecy, one that could unravel our very fabric. What do you mean, Darian? Varric demanded, irritation lacing his words. Darian leaned closer, his voice conspiratorial. A love so fierce that it could shift the balance of power, one destined to change everything. If we kill her, we may invoke a curse instead of a blessing. Then we must control it, Varric concluded, determination hardening his features. If her life is a risk, we shall use it to our advantage before we dispose of her. Unbeknownst to Lyra and Cale, the council's plans were unfolding with cruel precision, and the specter of betrayal loomed larger than ever. As the days dwindled, Lyra and Cale prepared themselves, seeking allies among the pack. They approached those who had shown kindness in the past, believing in the strength of their bond. They held secret meetings beneath the ancient oak, sharing the urgency of their plight. One evening, as twilight cloaked the glade, a familiar face emerged from the shadows. It was Mira, a fierce warrior of the pack, and Cale's childhood friend. I've been waiting for the right moment to come forward, she confessed, eyes blazing with defiance. I believe in both of you. Thank you, Mira, Cale replied, his voice thick with gratitude. We need all the support we can get. I can stand by while the council forces you two apart, get me in. Lyra felt a swell of hope. Together, we can challenge them, we can show them that love isn't a weakness. Love is our greatest strength, Mira asserted, her gaze fierce. And I will fight by your side. As they strategized, the bond between them grew, weaving a tapestry of trust and solidarity. But with each plan they forged, the council as script tightened. Lyra could feel the weight of dark intentions creeping into her dreams, twisting her thoughts with visions of betrayal. On the eve of the council's final judgment, Lyra awoke with a start, her heart racing. A shadowy figure loomed in her mind, a spectre whispering doubts and fear. She reached for Kale, but he was gone. Panic clawed at her throat as she jumped from the bed, racing into the moonlit night. Kale, she called, her voice echoing through the stillness. Where are you? A rustle in the bushes made her freeze. A familiar silhouette stepped forward, the same figure she had sensed before, cloaked in darkness. It was Darian, his grin sinister. Looking for your precious alpha, he taunted. Where is he? Lyra's voice trembled with fury. Don't you worry, he is quite safe for now. He leaned closer, malice lacing his tone. But you're the one destined to bring ruin. The council is merciful, you know. They could have taken you already. What do you want? She hissed, standing her ground. A surge of power flickered within her, a desperate hope igniting her instincts. Darian stepped back, a glint of surprise crossing his features. What if I could offer you a way out? Join us, renounce your bond with Kale, and we can protect you. You could rise above the rest of the pack, be more than just an Omega. Lyra's heart raced, her mind screaming at the treachery wrapped in his words. I would never betray him, or my love. He chuckled darkly. Love, you're a fool. In this world, love gets you killed. With every ounce of strength, she pushed past his dark aura, determined to find Kale. You'll never win, she declared, her voice unwavering. I may be an Omega, but I carry the flame of love, and love conquers all. As the moon hung high in the sky, illuminating the clearing, Lyra finally found Kale, standing alone, his posture tense. Relief flooded her as she approached, her heart aching with the weight of unspoken words. Lyra, he breathed, turning to face her, his eyes wide with concern. Where were you? I felt something was off. I was confronted by Darian. He tried to sway me, she confessed, trembling with the memory of his insidious words. I won't betray you, Kale, I promise. He stepped forward, cupping her face in his hands, his touch igniting warmth within her. I know you won't, I believe in you. Their lips met in a fierce kiss, a conflagration of passion and defiance. As they pulled away, Lyra could see the fierce determination in his eyes, the same fire that burned in her own heart. We faced them together, Kale vowed. No more secrets. Together, she echoed, feeling the weight of destiny binding their souls. With their allies rallied, they approached the council's hall, a storm brewing in their hearts. As they entered, the oppressive atmosphere weighed heavily upon them, but Kale stood tall, Lyra at his side. Elder Varric! Gale's voice resonated through the chamber, garnering the attention of the council. We will not stand idly by while you dictate our fate. Lyra stepped forward, her courage surging. We are bound by love, and that love is a strength you cannot tear down. The council members exchanged glances, surprise rippling through their ranks. You dare come before us with such insolence? Varric thundered. We dare because we believe, Kale countered, fierce and unyielding. You've underestimated us, and that will be your downfall. Darian stepped forward, a flicker of triumph in his eyes. You're both fools. Love can blind you to the truth, the prophecy. Is just a tool for you to manipulate us. Lyra spat back, her heart racing with fury. We will not fall victim to your twisted games. The tension in the air crackled like lightning, and Lyra could feel the magic awakening within her. There was a power in their unity, a force that had been lying dormant. As she drew a breath, the energy surged, wrapping around her like tendrils of light. Enough, Varric commanded, slamming his fist on the table. You will not disrupt the order we have built. We were not here to disrupt. We were here to redefine, Kale asserted, stepping closer. We were here to forge a new path for the Silverwood Pack. Lyra felt the energy coalesce, the bond between them pulsing with intensity. We deserve a chance. Everyone deserves a chance to love freely. In that moment, the air shimmered as if reality itself responded to their fervent belief. The council members exchanged fearful glances, the power of the prophecy clawing at the edges of their control. Do you see? Lyra continued, her voice rising, resonating through the chamber. Love can shift the tides. It is the very essence of our existence. With every word, she felt the magic around them amplify. The tension crackled in the air like a thunderstorm about to break. Lyra stood beside Kale, her heart pounding in her chest as the council watched with narrowed eyes. Elder Varric's expression hardened, his voice a thunderclap in the silence. You speak of love as if it is a shield, but love can be a weapon. You wield it foolishly. Love is our greatest strength, Cale countered, his voice steady, radiating an unwavering belief that shot through Lyra like fire. It is what binds us, not just as mates, but as a pack, a bond that can protect us from the darkest shadows. The council members shifted in their seats, unease creeping into their ranks. Lyra could sense their doubt a crack in the facade of their authority. "We have suffered too long under the council, a suppressive grip," she declared, stepping forward, her voice growing stronger. "We deserve to live without fear of judgment, without the threat of death hanging over us like a storm cloud. The council's rules exist for a reason," Varric snarled, his gaze piercing. "To maintain order, to ensure that power does not slip into the hands of those who are unworthy." Cale's jaw clenched, the muscles in his arms taut with suppressed anger. "And who determines worth? You, a group that's lost touch with the very lives you claim to protect." "I will not let you speak down to us," Lyra interjected, feeling the energy swelling within her. "Our love is not a curse, it is a force that can heal the fractures in our pack, not deepen them." Varric's eyes flicked between Cale and Lyra, an imperceptible flicker of uncertainty crossing his features. "You are naive if you believe your bond can change the fate set before you. Love cannot alter destiny." Suddenly, the room grew colder, the air thickening with an ominous energy. Lyra's instinct screamed at her, urging caution. She felt a presence lurking, shadowy and malevolent. Darian stepped forward, his voice smooth and calculated. "You see, this is why the council cannot allow this bond to flourish. It is a threat, not just to our authority, but to the very fabric of our society. Your fear fuels your desire to control." Cale shot back, stepping protectively in front of Lyra. "We refuse to be your pawns." In that moment, Lyra felt a shift within her, a surge of power that coursed through her veins. It was as if the very essence of the forest wrapped around her, infusing her with strength. "We will not allow you to dictate our fates any longer," she cried, her voice ringing with conviction, echoing through the chamber. With a flick of her wrists, a ripple of light burst forth, illuminating the room. The council members stumbled back, shock etched on their faces. Cale's eyes widened in awe, pride swelling in his chest. "Lyra, you re. Powerful," Darian finished, his voice laced with disdain. "But power can corrupt. You would be wise to remember that." The air crackled with tension as Lyra stood resolute. "Love cannot be corrupted, it can only be misunderstood. You've chosen to see it as a weapon instead of a shield." The council members exchanged glances, uncertainty gnawing at their confidence. Varric's brow furrowed, the storm within him brewing. "You would risk everything for this bond?" "Yes," Cale stated firmly, his gaze unwavering. "I would risk everything for her, for us." He turned to face Lyra, his eyes filled with a fierce determination that ignited the flame within her. "We will forge a new path together, even if it means walking through darkness." Together, Lyra echoed, feeling the strength of their bond pulsating between them. "We will face whatever comes. We will not be broken." In that moment, the gates to destiny swung open wide, a rush of energy swirling around them. Lyra felt the essence of the pack, every wolf, every spirit rising to meet them, urging them onward. "We will not be silenced," she declared, her voice stronger than ever. "Enough." Varric's voice boomed, attempting to stamp out the defiant fire blazing before him. "You will not provoke the council without consequences." Lyra's heart raced, but she stood her ground. "And what will those consequences be? More oppression, more suffering?" "Lyra, now!" Cale reached for her, his voice filled with urgency, but she was determined, her instincts roaring like a wild beast. "Every wolf in this territory deserves to love freely. We deserve to choose our own paths." The energy around them intensified, her words weaving the very fabric of destiny itself. "You think you can win a battle of wills against the council?" Darian sneered, stepping forward. "You are merely a child playing at power." "I am not a child," Lyra shot back, the magic crackling around her like static. "I am an Omega who has found her voice, and I will not be reduced to mere pawns in your game." Varric's gaze hardened as he raised an arm, gesturing to the guards flanking the hall. "Seize them." Cale stepped in front of her, the fierce protector within him awakening. "You'll have to go through me first." He growled, the primal rage of an alpha rising to the surface. Lyra felt the power coursing through her, igniting a fire in her heart. "We want to be your prisoners, not now, not ever." She summoned the energy within, the forest's magic swirling around them, a shield born of love and defiance. In an instant, the chamber erupted into chaos. Guards surged forward, but Lyra and Cale remained steadfast, their combined strength illuminating the room. With a wave of her hand, the energy released in a radiant burst, pushing back the guards, forcing them to stumble. "Lyra!" Cale shouted. reaching for her as a massive force surged behind them, threatening to overwhelm their defense. "We need to leave." "Yes," she cried, feeling the bond between them flare brilliantly. Together, they turned toward the exit, their hearts pounding in unison as they pushed through the chaos. Darian's voice rang out, filled with fury. "You cannot escape. You will pay for this defiance." But the world outside beckoned, the moonlight spilling through the doors, guiding their way. As they burst into the open air, the cool night enveloped them, and Lyra felt a rush of freedom. "We did it!" Hale exclaimed, breathless with triumph. "Yes, but this is only the beginning," Lyra replied, her heart racing with determination. "We need to gather the pack, show them they don't have to live under the Council's decree any longer." As they raced through the trees, the whispers of the forest surrounded them, a chorus of support echoing in their ears. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but together they were unstoppable. They reached the ancient oak, where their allies awaited, worry etched on their faces. "Lyra, Kill, what happened?" Mira rushed forward, her eyes wide with concern. "The council tried to silence us," Kale explained, urgency threading through his voice. "But we refuse to be broken. We need to rally the pack, stand together against the council's tyranny." "But they were powerful," Mira warned, glancing back at the path they had come from. "What if they come for you?" "Let them," Lyra said, her heart thunderous with conviction. "We will show them that love is stronger than fear, that unity will break their hold." The resolve in her voice sparked a fire in the hearts of the wolves gathered around them. "We are with you," one of the warriors shouted, fists raised. "Together, we can change everything." "Yes, sir," Kale roared, pride swelling in his chest. "We will not let the council dictate our lives any longer. We will stand as one." As they rallied together, a wave of energy swept through the pack, a promise of solidarity and strength. Lyra felt the bond between them solidify, an unbreakable chain forged through love and determination. Under the stars, they united as one, a force to be reckoned with, ready to challenge the council's grip on their lives. As they stood together, Lyra could feel the weight of destiny pulling them forward, urging them to take back their freedom. "We will take back our lives," she declared, her voice resonating with the magic of the moment. "For love, for each other, for the future of the Silverwood Pack." As the moon hung high above them, a witness to their resolve, Lyra and Kel exchanged a knowing glance, their hearts beating in rhythm. They were bound by love, destined to fight, and nothing would extinguish that flame. The night was far from over, and the true battle was just beginning. Hash Part 4. The Alpha promised her forever, but the council demanded her death. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying the scent of pine and impending rain as Lyra stood at the edge of their gathering, the Silverwood Pack assembled behind her. Each wolf's eyes glimmered with defiance and hope, and she felt the weight of their collective heartbeat echoing within her. "Tonight, we reclaim our power," she began, her voice steady but filled with urgency. "We are more than just members of the Silverwood Pack. We are a family bound by love, loyalty, and the right to choose our own destinies." Hale stood proudly beside her, his presence a fortress against the uncertainty that loomed. "We will not cower under the council's decree any longer. We stand united as one." A murmured agreement rippled through the wolves. Mira stepped forward, her eyes fierce. "There are those who still fear the council, but we can show them that fear is not our master, love is our strength." Lyra felt a surge of warmth flood her chest, bolstering her resolve. "Exactly, we have fought for our right to love, to be free. We owe it to ourselves to challenge the norm, to face the council together." The air buzzed with anticipation. One of the warriors, a burly wolf named Thorin, raised his voice. "What is our plan? We can just storm the council without a strategy." Kea met Lyra's gaze, eyes alight with determination. "We need to gather more allies, not just our pack, but the outliers, the wolves who have been oppressed, who have suffered under the council's rule. They need to know they aren't alone." "Let us split into groups," Mira suggested, glancing around at the assembled warriors. "We can cover more ground that way, seek out those who will join us, who believe in this fight." Lyra nodded, heart racing with the thrill of unity. "Agreed, we need to be smart about this. We'll all meet back here at dawn, each of you. Remember, this is about love, our right to exist freely. Do not let fear dictate your actions." With a final rallying howl, the wolves dispersed into the forest, shadows melding with the night. Lyra and Kale remained behind, the weight of the impending battle thickening the air. "Are you ready for this?" Kale asked, concern flickering in his eyes. "I've never been more ready," Lyra replied, her voice steady. "We be fighting for our lives, Kale, for our love." He stepped closer, brushing his fingers against her cheek. "I won't let anything happen to you. You're my world, Lyra." Her heart swelled at his words, but doubts lingered in the corners of her mind. What if the council strikes first? What if they retaliate against our pack? Kale's gaze hardened, a fire igniting within. Then we fight back. We find strength in our unity. Love is our weapon now. He leaned down, capturing her lips in a kiss that sent sparks of magic dancing through her veins. It was a promise entwined with passion, a reminder of everything they stood to lose. As dawn approached, the silver rays of the moon faded, giving way to the soft blush of sunrise. Lyra awoke to the sound of rustling outside their secret glade. The pack began to reform, weary yet hopeful faces emerging from the shadows. Mira was the first to speak. We gathered allies. There are whispers of rebellion among the outliers. They were ready to join our fight. Good, Kale replied, his eyes shimmering with determination. We all need every wolf by our side when we confront the council. Let us gather them and prepare, Lyra urged, her heart hammering with anticipation. Tonight we reveal our strength. As the sun dipped beneath the horizon, they assembled in the clearing, the air thick with energy. Wolves from surrounding territories arrived, their faces fierce with determination, echoing the same sentiment that had brought them here, freedom. Lyra stood before them, her heart pounding as she raised her voice. Tonight we fight for our right to love, for our right to choose. No longer will we bow before the council's tyranny. Cheers erupted as the assembled wolves rallied in response, their howls reverberating through the forest. Kale stepped forward, his strong presence commanding attention. Together, we are unstoppable. We will show the council that love is not a weakness, it is our greatest strength. The atmosphere crackled with tension, each wolf filled with a sense of purpose. But as they prepared to march, a rustle in the bushes drew their attention. Darian emerged, flanked by council guards, a smug expression on his face. Thought you could rally a rebellion, did you? He sneered, his voice dripping with disdain. You be outmatched, and you will pay for your defiance. Lyra stepped forward, unyielding. We will not be silenced by you or the council. Love cannot be extinguished by tyranny. Darian's eyes narrowed, his expression darkening. You think your love can protect you? You be naive, Lyra. This is not just a council, this is a warning. You be a threat that needs to be eliminated. Then come at us, Kale growled, stepping forward protectively. We are ready to fight for what is ours. The air thickened with tension as the guards circled the pack, snarling and ready to strike. But before a blow could be dealt, Lyra felt a surge of magic awaken within her, fueled by her love for Kale and the pack surrounding her. Stand together, she shouted, the energy flowing through her, igniting the very ground beneath their feet. In an instant, the air exploded with light, a brilliant wave washing over the clearing, pushing back the guards and illuminating the night with a fiery glow. The wolves surged forward, united in their resolve, and the council guards staggered back, fear etched on their faces. Darian's expression shifted from confidence to panic as he stumbled backward, his voice trembling with rage. You think you be powerful? This is just the beginning of your downfall. Lyra felt the magic course through her, a reflection of their love and unity, as she faced him fearlessly. We are not afraid. We will not back down. With a fierce shout, the pack surged forward, the energy of their love manifesting into a force that swept through the clearing, pushing back the council's guards and creating a barrier of light. Now, together. Ale roared, leading the charge. For love, for freedom. As they clashed with the guards, the night erupted into chaos. Lyra fought alongside Kale, their bond guiding them through every move. The power that surged within her felt like a tempest, intertwining with Kale's strength. Amidst the chaos, Lyra spotted Darian attempting to rally the remaining guards. Desperation surged within her. He would not be allowed to escape and report back to the council. Stay strong, she shouted to her pack, gathering her magic once more. With a determined thrust, she unleashed a wave of energy toward Darian, who barely managed to dodge the blast. But the force sent him stumbling, revealing the weakness that lay beneath his bravado. Kale caught her gaze, a fierce grin lighting up his face. Now, Lyra. Together, they channeled their magic, a radiant beam illuminating the darkness as they combined their strength. The light engulfed Darian, forcing him to the ground, his power slipping away like sand through fingers. Enough. Darian yelled, desperation cracking his voice, but the light consumed him, binding him in place. You cannot win. But Lyra felt the magic inside her hum with life, pulsating in time with her heart. We already have, she declared, her voice unwavering as she faced the assembled pack. We are united. The remaining gods, witnessing the overwhelming force of their unity, began to falter, fear creeping into their ranks. Realizing they were outmatched, they turned to flee, abandoning Darian to his fate. As the last of the gods retreated into the shadows, the clearing was filled with victorious howls, echoing through the forest like the song of freedom. Kale turned to Lyra, breathless. You did it, we did it. Amid the chaos and celebration, she felt a rush of love for him. No, we did this together, all of us. The pack formed a circle around them, celebration spilling over as wolves embrace, joy mingling with relief. Mira rushed forward, her eyes shining bright with pride. You were incredible, Lyra, you and Kale. But Lyra felt a shadow creeping at the edges of her joy, a memory of the council's looming threat wrapping around her heart. This isn't over yet, the council will retaliate. Kale's expression hardened. Let them come, we will be ready, we have each other, and we have our pack. With the moon rising high above them, illuminating the night with its silver light, Lyra felt an undeniable surge of hope. Their love had ignited a spark, awakened a power that could shift the balance of their world. We will face whatever comes together, she vowed, her heart pounding with the promise of